Life Wisdom, Part 1. Powerful Lessons Inspired by the Teachings of Buddha. Welcome, my dear friends. Today, I'm here to share wisdom that can stay with you for the rest of your life. This is not just a video. It is a mirror. A mirror that may show you who you really are. A mirror that may help you understand your mind, release unnecessary pain, and take back control of the way you respond to life. We live in a world that is loud, stressful, and constantly pulling us in different directions. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants happiness. Everyone wants good health. Everyone wants peace. But here is the truth that many people struggle to accept. You cannot find lasting peace in the outside world if your own mind is constantly at war. You can change your job. You can change your relationship. You can change your house. But if you carry anger, jealousy, fear, insecurity, and attachment everywhere you go, you will carry your suffering with you. If you want peace, you must learn how to create peace within yourself. If you want strength, you must learn how to discipline your mind. If you want to stop overthinking, you must learn how to observe your thoughts instead of becoming controlled by them. And if you want genuine happiness, not a temporary feeling, but a deeper sense of contentment, you can learn much from the teachings of one of history's greatest spiritual teachers, Gautama Buddha. Buddha did not simply teach people what to believe. He taught people how to observe the mind, how to understand suffering, how to practice compassion, how to let go, how to develop awareness, how to live with wisdom. His teachings have survived for more than 2,000 years because human beings still struggle with the same things: fear, anger, attachment, greed, jealousy, desire, regret, and the endless search for happiness. Today, we are going to explore 20 powerful life lessons inspired by Buddhist wisdom. These are not simply quotes to admire. They are principles to practice. And if you genuinely apply even a few of them, you may begin to see your life differently. You may think differently, react differently, and most importantly, suffer less. And if you are also learning English, listening to and reading this script repeatedly can help improve your vocabulary, pronunciation, comprehension, and fluency. If you want to explore more teachings inspired by Buddha, you can find more videos on this channel. So take a deep breath. Slow down. And let's begin. Lesson 1. Your mind shapes your life. One of the central ideas in Buddhist teaching is that the mind plays a fundamental role in shaping our experience. Our thoughts influence our emotions. Our emotions influence our actions. Our actions become habits. And our habits gradually shape our lives. Think about two students preparing for the same examination. They have the same teacher. They study the same material. They have the same amount of time. But one student constantly thinks, "I'm going to fail. I'm not smart enough. I can't do this." The other thinks, "I may be nervous, but I prepared. I'll do my best. I can learn from this." When the exam begins, who is more likely to remain calm and focused? The second student. Not because positive thinking magically guarantees success, but because the way we interpret a situation affects how we respond to it. Here is another example. Imagine someone makes a mistake at work. One person immediately thinks, "I'm useless. I always ruin everything." Another thinks, "I made a mistake. What can I learn from it?" The event is the same. The interpretation is different. And the response is different. This is why training the mind matters. You cannot control every thought that enters your mind. But you can learn not to believe every thought. When fear appears, observe it. When anger appears, observe it. When self-doubt appears, observe it. Then choose your response. Your mind is not your enemy. It is a powerful instrument. Train it with awareness. Feed it with wisdom. And your life will gradually begin to change. Lesson 2. Peace begins within. Many people spend their entire lives searching for peace outside themselves. They think, if I make more money, I'll be peaceful. If I find the right partner, I'll be happy. If I get that promotion, everything will be better. If I travel somewhere beautiful, I'll finally relax. But external circumstances cannot guarantee inner peace. Imagine two people stuck in the same traffic jam. The first person is shouting, honking, checking the clock, and becoming more frustrated every minute. The second person takes a breath, listens to music, and accepts that the traffic cannot be changed right now. Same road. Same traffic. Same delay. Completely different experience. Why? Because their responses are different. Or imagine someone sitting on a beautiful beach. The ocean is calm. The sunset is breathtaking. But their mind is replaying an argument from yesterday and worrying about tomorrow. Their body is on the beach. Their mind is somewhere else. Peace is not simply a place. It is a way of relating to the present moment. This does not mean ignoring real problems. It means learning not to create additional suffering through constant resistance. Start small. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Follow your breathing. Notice your thoughts. Feel your body. Let the present moment be enough for those 5 minutes. You may discover something important. Peace does not always arrive when the world becomes quiet. Sometimes, peace arrives when your mind becomes quiet enough to hear itself. Lesson 3. Attachment creates suffering. One of the deepest Buddhist teachings concerns attachment. Attachment is not the same as love. You can love someone deeply without believing that you must possess them. You can care about something without believing that your happiness depends entirely on keeping it. Attachment begins when we say, this must never change. This person must never leave. I must succeed. I must always be respected. My life must happen exactly the way I imagined. But life does not make such promises. Imagine falling deeply in love with someone. You build a life together. You make plans. Then, years later, the relationship ends. The pain is real. Heartbreak is real. But sometimes we make the pain much heavier by repeating, this should never have happened. They were supposed to stay forever. My life is over. The suffering grows because we are fighting reality.
Another example is career success. You work hard and finally receive a promotion. You feel proud. But then you become terrified of losing your position. You begin comparing yourself with everyone around you. You work constantly. You stop sleeping properly. The promotion that once brought happiness now becomes a source of fear. The problem is not success. The problem is clinging to success as the condition for your worth. Buddhist wisdom teaches us to understand impermanence. People change. Relationships change. Bodies change. Careers change. Feelings change. Everything changes. Letting go does not mean becoming cold. It means loving without trying to control everything. Work hard. Love deeply. Enjoy what you have. But remember, everything you experience is changing. When you understand that, you can appreciate life without needing to imprison it. Lesson 4. Let go of anger. There is a powerful Buddhist image of holding a burning coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. Who gets burned first? You do. Anger works the same way. Someone insults you. You replay their words all day. You imagine what you should have said. You tell your friends about it. You lose sleep. Your body becomes tense. And the person who insulted you may have completely forgotten the conversation. You are still carrying the coal. Imagine receiving an angry message from someone at work. You could immediately type an even angrier response. You press send. For a few seconds, you feel powerful. Then you realize you have created a bigger problem. A few angry words can damage a relationship, a career, or a friendship. A better response may be to wait. Take 3 breaths. Put the phone down. Come back later. Ask, will responding in anger actually improve this situation? Anger can sometimes alert us that something is wrong. But anger does not have to become our driver. Pause. Breathe. Understand. Respond when your mind is clear. Forgiveness does not mean saying that harmful behavior was acceptable. It means refusing to let someone else's actions control your inner life forever. Put down the coal. Protect your peace. Lesson 5. Nothing is permanent. Everything changes. Everything passes. Nothing remains exactly as it is forever. At first, this may sound depressing. But it can actually be one of the most hopeful truths you can understand. If you are suffering today, remember, this moment will change. Think about a storm. The sky becomes dark. Rain falls heavily. You may think the entire day has been ruined. But eventually, the rain stops. The clouds move. The sunlight returns. The storm was real. But it was not permanent. Your emotions can be like that too. You may feel heartbroken today. That does not mean you will feel heartbroken forever. You may fail an exam. That does not mean you will fail at life. You may lose a job. That does not mean you have lost your future. And happiness is also temporary. That beautiful vacation ends. The celebration ends. The perfect day ends. Understanding impermanence teaches us 2 things. Don't cling desperately to happiness. And don't despair during pain. Enjoy good moments while they are here. And when difficult moments arrive, remember that they too will change. You don't have to control every wave. You simply have to learn how to move with the ocean. Lesson 6. You suffer more when you cling. This lesson is closely connected to attachment. The tighter you hold something, the more fear you create around losing it. Think about holding sand. If you gently hold it in your open hand, much of it stays. But if you squeeze your fist as tightly as possible, the sand escapes between your fingers. Relationships can be similar. Imagine someone loves their partner but becomes terrified of losing them. They constantly check their phone. They demand to know where their partner is. They become suspicious. They try to control friendships. They mistake control for love. Eventually, the relationship becomes suffocating. The very fear of losing the person contributes to the relationship breaking down. The lesson is not don't love. The lesson is love without trying to possess. The same principle applies to success. Work hard toward your goals. But don't make your identity depend entirely on achieving them. You can say, I want this, without saying, I cannot be happy without this. That small difference creates freedom. Enjoy what you have. Work toward what you want. But leave room for life to surprise you. Lesson 7. Come back to the present. The past is a memory. The future is a possibility. The present is the only moment you can actually experience. Yet so many people miss their lives because their minds are somewhere else. Imagine having dinner with your family. Your mother has prepared your favorite meal. Everyone is talking and laughing. But you are looking at your phone. You are thinking about an argument from last week. Or worrying about tomorrow's deadline. You are physically there, but mentally absent. One day, that ordinary dinner may become a precious memory. And you may wish you had been fully present. The same thing happens when we constantly worry about the future. You are walking through a beautiful park, but you're thinking, what if I fail? What if something goes wrong? What if I never succeed? You miss the trees. You miss the sunlight. You miss the moment. Practice being where you are. When you eat, taste the food. When you walk, feel your feet. When someone speaks, listen. When you are with someone you love, be with them. Mindfulness is not escaping life. It is finally paying attention to the life you already have. Lesson 8. Health is a great treasure. Buddhist teachings place great value on health and contentment. Modern life often teaches us to chase more money, more followers, more possessions, more status, more success. But what happens if you gain everything and lose your health? Imagine someone earning a very high salary but sleeping only 4 hours every night. They have an expensive car, a beautiful house, a successful career, but they are constantly exhausted and anxious. Now imagine another person living a simpler life. They sleep well. They walk every morning. They eat reasonably well. They spend time with people they love. They are grateful for what they have. Who is richer in the deepest sense?
Money can improve your circumstances, but it cannot automatically create contentment. You can buy a luxurious bed. You cannot buy sleep. You can buy food. You cannot buy a healthy body without taking care of it. You can buy entertainment. You cannot purchase inner peace. So take care of the body you have. Sleep enough. Move your body. Eat nourishing food. Spend time outside. Rest. And practice gratitude. Do not spend your entire life building a future you are too exhausted to enjoy. Lesson 9. Hatred burns the person who holds it. Hatred often feels like power. But carrying hatred is exhausting. Imagine someone betrayed you. You were deeply hurt. Years later, you still think about what they did. You still feel anger when their name comes up. They may have moved on. But you continue reliving the event. Who is suffering now? You are. This does not mean you should forget what happened. Wisdom does not require you to become naive. You can learn from betrayal. You can establish boundaries. You can walk away from harmful people. But you don't have to carry hatred everywhere you go. Imagine carrying a heavy stone in your backpack. You carry it for 1 day. Then 1 month. Then 1 year. Eventually, you become so accustomed to the weight that you forget you can put it down. Resentment can be like that. Forgiveness does not mean, what happened was okay. It means, I refuse to let what happened control the rest of my life. Release the hatred. Keep the lesson. Protect your future. Lesson 10. Speak with wisdom. In a noisy world, everyone wants to speak. Everyone wants to react. Everyone wants to prove that they are right. But not every thought needs to become a sentence. Words can heal. Words can destroy. Imagine 2 people having an argument. One says, "You always ruin everything. You are useless. I regret being with you." Maybe those words were spoken in anger. But the person who hears them may remember them for years. Now imagine a different response. "I am angry right now. I don't want to say something I will regret. Let's talk when we are calmer." That sentence can completely change the direction of the conversation. Before speaking, ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? And if it isn't necessary, sometimes silence is the wiser choice. This applies online too. Someone posts an opinion you strongly disagree with. You write an angry comment. Then you spend the next hour arguing with a stranger. Ask yourself, will this conversation make my life better? If not, you are free to walk away. Speak less when necessary. Listen more. And when you speak, let your words carry intention. A wise person does not need to win every conversation. Lesson 11. Be kind because you don't know the whole story. We often judge people based on a single moment. Someone is rude. We call them arrogant. Someone is quiet. We call them unfriendly. Someone makes a mistake. We call them stupid. But we rarely know what is happening inside another person's life. Imagine seeing a mother shouting at her child in a supermarket. You might immediately think, what a terrible parent. But you don't know what happened before she entered that store. Perhaps she hasn't slept properly for days. Perhaps she is struggling financially. Perhaps she is caring for a sick family member. Perhaps she is simply overwhelmed. You don't know the whole story. Another example, someone at work makes a serious mistake. Instead of humiliating them, ask, are you okay? Do you need help? Kindness does not mean accepting harmful behavior. You can have boundaries and still be compassionate. You can disagree and still be respectful. You can walk away without hatred. Before judging someone, remember, you are looking at one page of their story. You have not read the entire book. Be kind whenever you can. Your kindness may become the moment someone desperately needed. Lesson 12. Take responsibility for your life. This lesson can sound harsh, no one can live your life for you. People can help you. Teachers can guide you. Friends can support you. Family can encourage you. But ultimately, you must take responsibility for your own choices. Imagine someone who wants to become healthier. They keep saying, "I'll start next month. I need more motivation. I'll begin when life becomes less busy." Years pass. Nothing changes. Now imagine they start with 10 minutes of walking each day. It isn't dramatic. But it is movement. The same applies to learning. You don't need to master a language in 1 week. You need to practice today. Then tomorrow. Then the day after. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything that happens. It is about recognizing the part of your life that is within your control. You may not control what happened yesterday. But you can choose what you do today. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Take one small step. Then another. Your life changes through actions, not wishes. Lesson 13. Pain is part of life, how we respond matters. Life contains pain. People lose jobs. Relationships end. Bodies grow older. Plans fail. People we love eventually change or leave. We cannot eliminate all pain. But we can learn not to multiply it unnecessarily. Imagine two people losing the same job. The first says, "My life is over. I am worthless. Nothing ever works for me." The second says, "This hurts. But I can learn something from this." The pain is real for both. But their relationship with the pain is different. The second person allows the pain to exist without turning it into an identity. That is an important distinction. Instead of asking only, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I do now? What can I learn? What is within my control?" You don't have to pretend that pain doesn't hurt. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Learn from it. Then take the next step. Pain may be unavoidable. But we don't have to build a permanent home inside it. Lesson 14. Learn to become your own guide. Buddhist teaching encourages investigation and direct understanding rather than blind belief. In today's world, information is everywhere. One person says, "Wake up at 5 a.m. Another says, "Sleep more." One person says, "Work harder." Another says, "Slow down." One person says, "Take this path." Another says, "Take the opposite path." If you listen to everyone without thinking for yourself, you can become more confused than before. Imagine someone struggling with stress. They watch 10 videos. Read 5 books. Listen to several podcasts. Now they have 20 different solutions and no idea which one actually helps. Sometimes the next step is not more information. It is observation. Sit quietly. Ask yourself, what is actually causing my stress? What habits are making it worse? What happens when I slow down? Then test what you learn. This is not about blindly trusting every feeling. Inner wisdom should be combined with awareness, reason, experience, and honest observation. Listen. Question. Practice. Observe the results. Then adjust. The world is full of noise. Wisdom grows when you become quiet enough to investigate your own experience. Lesson 15. A disciplined mind creates greater freedom. Many people believe happiness comes from doing whatever they feel like doing. But if every impulse controls you, are you really free? Imagine waking up and immediately checking your phone. You scroll for 30 minutes. Then another 30. You plan to exercise, but you don't. You plan to study, but you keep watching videos. You wanted to sleep early, but you stay online until midnight. The problem isn't technology itself. The problem is losing control of your attention. A disciplined mind doesn't mean becoming harsh or joyless. It means being able to choose. You can say, I want to check my phone, but I will finish this first. I want to quit, but I will practice for 10 more minutes. I am angry, but I will not speak until I calm down. That is freedom. Start small. Spend 5 minutes in silence each morning. Protect your attention. Choose what you consume. Notice your thoughts. Ask, is this helping me or hurting me? Your mind becomes influenced by what you repeatedly feed it. Feed it fear all day, and fear grows. Feed it distraction all day, and distraction grows. Feed it awareness, discipline, gratitude, and wisdom, and those qualities can grow too. Train your mind. Not to control life, but to stop being controlled by every impulse. Lesson 16. Stop comparing your life with others. Comparison can quietly destroy your peace. You see someone traveling. You feel behind. You see someone getting married. You feel lonely. You see someone becoming successful. You feel like a failure. You see someone with a perfect body. You criticize your own. But social media gives you only a carefully selected part of another person's life. Imagine two runners. They are on different tracks. One is running faster. The other keeps looking sideways, trying to copy the first runner. What happens? They lose focus on their own track. Life is similar. Someone may achieve something at 25. You may achieve it at 35. Someone may become wealthy quickly. You may build slowly. Someone may have a family early. You may choose a different path. Different does not mean worse. Your life has its own circumstances, responsibilities, lessons, and timing. Instead of asking, why am I not like them? Ask, am I becoming better than I was yesterday? Compare yourself with your past self. Celebrate other people's success without turning it into evidence of your failure. Your path does not have to look like anyone else's. Walk your own path. And walk it peacefully. Lesson 17. The greatest victory is victory over yourself. The world celebrates external victories. Money. Titles. Followers. Awards. Status. But Buddhist wisdom points toward another kind of victory, mastering yourself. Imagine waking up early even though you don't feel like it. You exercise when nobody is watching. You refuse to gossip even when everyone else is doing it. You apologize when your ego wants to defend itself. You remain calm when someone tries to provoke you. These victories may receive no applause. Nobody may even notice. But you notice. You know you are becoming stronger. Another example. Someone insults you. Your first instinct is to attack back. But you pause. You breathe. You choose not to escalate the situation. You have just won an important battle, not against another person, but against your own anger. Every time you overcome an unhealthy impulse, you build self-respect. And self-respect creates a deeper kind of confidence. Winning against others may make you feel powerful for a moment. But learning to master yourself can transform your entire life. The greatest opponent you will ever face is often the version of yourself that refuses to grow. Lesson 18. Learn to respond, not react. This is one of the most practical skills you can develop. Reaction is automatic. Response is conscious. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your first reaction may be anger. You want to honk. You want to shout. You want to chase them. But what will that accomplish? The other driver may disappear in 30 seconds. Yet you could spend the next hour carrying the anger. A trained mind creates a pause. Breathe. Observe. Choose. The same thing happens in conversations. Someone sends you an insulting message. You immediately start typing an angry reply. Instead, put the phone down. Wait 10 minutes. Read the message again. You may realize that your first response would have made everything worse. That small pause is powerful. When something triggers you, ask, do I want to react, or do I want to respond? A 3-second pause can sometimes save 3 years of regret. You cannot control how other people behave. But you can train yourself not to surrender your peace every time someone else loses theirs. Let others be reactive. You choose wisdom. Lesson 19. Live with purpose, not on autopilot. Many people are busy every day but rarely ask themselves why. Wake up. Check the phone. Go to work. Come home. Scroll. Eat. Sleep. Repeat. Years pass. One day, they realize, I've been busy, but what have I actually been living for? Imagine someone working the same job for 15 years. The job isn't terrible. But they have stopped learning. Stopped creating. Stopped exploring. Stopped asking what matters to them. Now imagine another person who lives more simply, but spends time teaching, painting, writing, helping others, building something meaningful, or learning a skill they love. They may earn less. But their days have direction. Purpose does not have to mean changing the world. It can be raising a family with love. Teaching children. Creating art. Helping people. Learning. Serving others. Building something useful. Becoming a wiser human being. Ask yourself, why am I doing what I am doing? Which habits are helping me grow? Which habits are keeping me stuck? Then make one small change. Do one meaningful thing each day. Don't spend your entire life simply filling time. Live consciously. Because at the end of life, being busy is not the same as having lived well. Lesson 20. True wisdom is knowing when to let go. One of the deepest forms of wisdom is knowing when to release what is causing unnecessary suffering. Let go of the argument you have replayed for years. Let go of the mistake you keep using to punish yourself. Let go of the person who no longer belongs in your life. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the need to always be right. Let go of the belief that everything must happen according to your plan. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with heavy stones. One stone represents anger. Another represents regret. Another represents guilt. Another represents fear. Another represents an old relationship. You carry them for years. Someone finally asks, "Why don't you put the bag down?" You say, "But I've carried it for so long." That is not a reason to continue carrying it. It is a reason to put it down. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean pretending that nothing happened. It means learning the lesson without carrying the unnecessary weight. You can remember the past without living inside it. You can forgive without reconnecting. You can walk away without hatred. You can admit that something mattered and still accept that it is over. Sometimes wisdom means fighting harder. Sometimes wisdom means trying again. And sometimes wisdom means opening your hand and saying, "This no longer needs to control me." A free heart is a powerful heart. Final message. You have now heard 20 powerful life lessons inspired by Buddhist wisdom. But remember, listening is not transformation. Understanding is not transformation. Practice is transformation. You don't need to apply all 20 lessons tomorrow. Choose one. Practice it today. If anger controls you, practice the pause. If you overthink, return to the present. If you compare yourself with others, return to your own path. If you are carrying resentment, begin the process of letting go. If your mind is chaotic, create a few minutes of silence. If you feel lost, take one small step. Real change rarely happens in one dramatic moment. It happens through small choices repeated every day. The world around you may remain noisy. People may still disappoint you. Problems will still appear. Life will still change. But you can change the way you meet those things. Buddha did not teach us how to control the entire world. He taught us to understand the mind. To understand suffering. To cultivate compassion. To let go of what creates unnecessary suffering. And to awaken to the present moment. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to carry your pain forever. You can begin where you are. Right now. Take a breath. Let your shoulders relax. Notice this moment. You are here. You are alive. And you still have the ability to choose your next step. Let go of what is not yours to carry. Let go of the anger. Let go of the fear. Let go of the past. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the person you are pretending to be. And make room for something quieter. Something stronger. Something more peaceful. You are not necessarily behind in life. You are not necessarily broken. You are not too late. Perhaps you are simply carrying too much. And perhaps it is time to put some of that weight down. Start again. Not from guilt. Not from pressure. But from awareness. From wisdom. From purpose. From peace. If even one lesson in this video touched your heart, then perhaps you have already taken the first step. A new chapter does not begin when everything becomes perfect. It begins when you decide to live differently. Become the calm within your own storm. Live lighter. Think wiser. Love more deeply. And walk more freely. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for choosing to learn. And thank you for being here. This video was created with love, honesty, and deep respect for your journey. If this message helped you, even by 1%, share it with someone who may need to hear it. Watch it again. Reflect on it. Practice one lesson. And if you want more videos about wisdom, mindfulness, personal growth, and the teachings of Buddha, subscribe to the channel. We are building something meaningful here together. Until we meet again, take a deep breath. Let go. And rise.